Kana means family.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
Yes, we are back. Welcome to the Disney Plus Us podcast, all my friends, family, and I'm going to extend this offer to our very own June bugs, because June is slowly dithering away. So I want the June bugs in on this.
Like the actual bugs, or is that a cute name for?
No, it's an actual bug.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be nice if that was like a cute name for some of our listeners.
Oh, you June bugs.
Oh, you June bugs.
Oh,
okay.
welcome to the June bugs. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Okay, so today's show, we are going to watch Winnie the Pooh. It's going to be fantastic, I think.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. And we're here to tell you, and this is going to be the hardest thing, but right at the very very start, it didn't go far.
Jay made me promise that we weren't going to make any Pooh jokes.
For this entire podcast.
It's going to be really hard. Jay's already done it.
No. So we'll just see how close to the line we can get.
Okay. We'll keep it classy.
Yeah.
That's the lowest common denominator.
Oh, it's the worst, but the easiest and
that's
funniest.
the easiest comedy, and we're not going for that.
No, not today. I am your host, Jay. Did I tell you that?
No, I'm Andrea.
And this is a podcast where we go over Disney Plus news and we review all animated movies in chronological order.
Yes.
So we're watching them on Disney Plus, and we have arrived at Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Andrea, my lovely wife, how are you?
Thank you for asking. That's really nice.
Yes.
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I had a pineapple with rice and Chinese chicken for dinner. So it's like half a pineapple and then all this stuff in top. So when you kind of scrape it with your fork, you get the pineapple flavor and all the other things. It was amazing.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Jay?
You know, I had the same, funny enough, I had the same dinner.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
It was the best.
Yeah.
I had an egg roll kicker.
Oh,
It was pretty good. Other than that, life is good. There's a lot of home improvement going on in this household.
Indeed.
We got a new dishwasher, which led to water damage on the floor, which led to
ripping up the floor and giant fans attempting to dry
the
out
store,
the floor so
and
we
then
don't get mold.
Yep, and then new flooring, and then we had wasps in our outside wall, and that was scary. And now, yeah. You don't want to hear complaining.
Complaining. We are so lucky that we own our home. Well, technically own, it's still mortgaged, but
the bank technically.
The bank owns it.
Yeah.
But we're so lucky, and this is just part of being
being
a homeowner.
Part of it. Yeah.
So if you hear giant fans in the background, I'm sorry.
We're doing our best to eliminate those sounds.
We're going to try and edit those sounds out.
But you're not here about us. You're here about the fantastic news of what's going on in Disney Plus.
Oh boy!
Yeah, Andrea. I know they talk about the news.
Welcome back. All right, so hold on. All right, let the cat in. Okay, yeah, I've never seen Andrea do this. This is our forbidden room, and we have a cat meowing at the door, which happens daily. And Andrea opened the door to let him in, and he's just like, wait, I get to come in here?
Stop him from yelling.
It did, but yeah, I'm shocked too. I'm like, what? Okay.
Well, and the big fans scare him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're loud and noisy, so maybe he'll be happier in here.
There you go. All right. So number one biggest news event that's hitting Disney Plus July 3rd. Everybody knows, is Hamilton.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
They dropped a new trailer that shows actual footage. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in this.
Well, and what it is the original cast on Broadway of Hamilton. And they did 3 nights of filming from all different angles while they were doing the show. And then they edited it together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's almost like you're at the original Broadway cast performance, but then you also get extra cool camera angles.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play the trailer for you. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
On July 3rd. And you see the cast.
$10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter.
To your union revolution and the hope that you provide. May you always be satisfied.
The experience.
This is Hamilton.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That trailer just makes me so excited. So here's a little dip into our lives. Andrea and I were lucky enough to go to New York City. It was a year ago.
Maybe
around.
2 years ago.
And
Yeah.
we saw Hamilton on Broadway, and it was fantastic.
It was just like one of the best theatrical performances, like top 5 theatrical performances I've ever experienced. It was just awesome. And then I also, when they came to Kansas City, they do a lottery in each city.
Yeah.
And like the first 2 rows of the theater are reserved for lottery winners. And if you win the lottery, it's $10 a seat and you can buy up to 2 seats. I signed up every single day because I wanted to see this again so bad. And I ended up winning. And so I got to go see it again. And it was just, again, like it was a different experience, different cast, but it was still just amazing and mind-blowing.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to see what they do here on Disney Plus.
I am too. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, the big Hamilton news, though. There are 2 F-bombs that have been edited out.
They wanted to achieve a PG-13 rating, and there are 3 F-bombs in the show, and they had to remove 2 of them in order to get that rating on Disney Plus. So Lin-Manuel said, okay, sure. And so removed 2 F-bombs from the show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen, I remember the time I saw it, there's nothing that's like a hard R. There's no nudity. There's, a few F-bombs. It's a very raw, but
Mature
very
content.
mature, but amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing story.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
if you have nothing to do on July 3rd onward,
I have a feeling half of America is going to be streaming this.
oh, I will.
Like midnight.
Maybe not midnight, but I will be watching it. Though.
July 3rd. We should do
I'm
a watch
excited for it.
party. That would be
Well,
fun.
we'd have to have people over.
Virtual watch party.
Ooh.
There. Ooh. So, yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar we will be talking about that once that comes out. Okay, so I have a fun little story. The Disney fan community finally reached out to me via email, and this is Disney Plus is giving me this option to opt in to become a Disney fan community member, and what I get for such exclusive and elusive highbrow membership is the ability to take a survey.
Ooh.
And let Disney know how their streaming services are.
Do you pay for this illustrious honor to be part of the Disney community?
No, it is free.
Well, with your Disney Plus streaming service.
Yeah, membership.
Oh,
Yeah, so the thing is they really just give you the option. You opt in, you fill out a survey, and this is my experience. They said, which of these do you really love? Marvel 1 to 10, Star Wars 1 to 10, or Disney 1 to 10? So I chose Star Wars 10, and then the other two like 9s. And Pixar was there too. And then they said, "Oh, you like Disney or Marvel or Star Wars? Which movies do you own?" And you click all the ones you own, and they're like, "Okay, do you watch the extra features?" Yes. Click, click, click. Then it says, "All right, did you watch Mandalorian? Did you watch a Mandalorian doc? Yeah, the doc series.
Yeah.
And what did you like about it? Why did you like it? And they're just really picking my brain about Star Wars. And at the end, they gave me a comment box, which I've never had to tell studio execs what I thought about Star Wars.
Whoa.
And so I'm like, here we go.
And you didn't call me in the room?
Members only.
Oh, man. So what'd you tell him?
Well, I said, hey, The Mandalorian was what I have been missing from the prequels. Didn't get it right. The sequels didn't get it right.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian got it right. I don't even think the Solo
I liked okay.
Yeah.
I even liked Force Awakens despite some of the issues.
But
Mandalorian was amazing.
It was pacing. It wasn't forced like R2-D2 in every movie. It wasn't this just it wasn't so complex. It was very slow. It was simple, but it was also great storytelling. And that's ultimately what we liked about the original Star Wars trilogy was the storytelling.
Right. The actual like character's journey, and you see the characters grow and change.
Exactly.
That's most of what you get in The Mandalorian is seeing this person turn from cold, ruthless bounty hunter into someone with a heart. I don't know.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where
Season
it goes.
2 this December. But anyway, so that's what's going on there. And for our last segment, here is everything that is coming, not everything, but the good stuff.
Okay.
Of what's coming in July to Disney Plus. So we got Cradle of the Gods, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I think the TV show. There are 2 movies. Rocket Rules, and then The Long Haul. Then obviously Hamilton. Ice Age Collision Course is also debuting on 7/3, but nobody's talking about that.
How many of those have they made, the Ice Age movies?
I don't know. India's Wildest Leopard, The Lost City of Machu Picchu. And I really thought that was a Pokemon thing, but no, it's That's
Incan ancient city.
Yeah. I know. That's where my brain is. I'm 7. Race to Witch Mountain, the 2009 version. Solo, a Star Wars story. Surviving Mount St. Helen disaster.
Ooh.
The Big Green.
Pause. I went to Mount St. Helens as a kid.
During the disaster?
No, it blew in like 1980.
Oh, okay.
But I went after it blew, and I was like 10,
Yeah.
and there was just this huge crater, and everything around it was still dead.
Wow.
And like all the trees were dead still, but you could see like a little bit of life starting to creep back up. It was a weird experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Big Green, which I may be wrong, but I'm thinking this is like the soccer movie that the Sandlot, the fat kid in the Sandlot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then The Mighty Ducks on July 3rd.
Which I got yelled at for not seeing all of those. I think maybe I've seen the first one.
Yeah, I will yell at you again. D2, we're going to have the best date night. I want to make this
Hockey date night.
I'm going to make this a date night
Can
to
we
remember.
eat snow cones?
Snow cones. I'll make food shaped like pucks and
Hamburgers.
I don't know yet. There's a lot of puck options. Oh,
Cool.
funny. And the Mouseketeers at Walt Disney World. I don't even know what that is. That sounds lame. But
Dang.
I don't, it just
Harsh.
feels like that's like a 1970s, like, we need to shoot a movie.
It
We
probably
have the
was.
cast here.
Yeah.
We have cameras here. Let's take them outside.
Let them run free.
Yeah,
for
we'll
an afternoon.
film them.
Yeah.
But if you're into seeing what, the Disney World looked like back then, that could be cool. All right. So, enough about the news. We're here for
Winnie the Pooh.
We're here for the Pooh. This is straight. That's not a joke.
My eyebrows are very high right now.
Okay.
That was borderline.
Borderline.
Yeah.
All right. Have you seen the movie Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know. Like, I have no memory of seeing this movie. I know I have seen Winnie the Pooh related cartoons. Was there a cartoon series? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just remembering the movie. I don't know.
I'm kind of in the same boat where it kind of blurs the lines. I was young enough where it could have been a series, could have been a movie, could have been a picture book. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know. So maybe I'll start watching and be like, oh, yeah. And then remember that I've seen it like 20 times. But I honestly have no memory of this. I remember seeing a cartoon where Pooh really wanted the honey up in the tree, but all the bees were buzzing around it. And so he dressed up as a little black rain cloud and floated up with a balloon.
That's just precious.
And he didn't want the bees to be frightened. He was just a rain cloud.
And he just wanted the honey.
He
Gosh
just
darn
wanted
it.
the honey.
How isn't that the cutest?
So I remember that whole scene, and he sang a little song about being a little rain cloud. But yeah, beyond that, I have no memory.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm in the same boat. No real memory there. With that, maybe like it's just this blurred thing. Who knows what I've seen?
I do remember like his outfit. He just wears a red shirt, right?
That's it.
No pants.
Well, some other animals don't even have clothes.
Yeah. So how'd that happen?
All good questions. That leads me to the improv scene.
Okay.
All right. So in this improv scene, as you may know, Andrea and I are world-class improvisers.
World class.
We travel to kings and queens
People
and
pay millions to see us perform.
to fly us in, dignitaries of the like.
Indeed. Yeah.
And so because we have such grand memories of this movie, I think we should do an improv scene. Now, this is, of course, going to be in 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah.
This is going to be at a ice cream social.
That Piglet is throwing.
Oh, Piglet. Yeah, he's the rare skinny pig. I remember that.
Yeah, he's really tiny and kind of nervous.
Yeah, very nervous. And
Is he nervous or is Rabbit nervous?
No, Rabbit's like on like crack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. Not like literally, but
Someone help Rabbit.
he needs a program. So okay, so we're at an ice cream social, and you will play Pooh.
Okay.
I will play Tigger.
Okay. That's fitting.
And we have a mystery to solve.
Okay.
All right. All right. Oh, why? If it isn't my friend Pooh, how are you?
Hi, Tigger. I'm gonna go over and get some more ice cream. I see they have honey flavor.
Honey flavor ice cream. That's just ridiculous. Hey, whoa. This is friend talking.
Yes?
You're not wearing any pants.
Oh, my.
I know. Where do you think your pants have gone?
I got up this morning. I have no memory of not putting on pants.
Huh.
What a mystery.
Well, this is...
So I can't get honey-flavored ice cream?
Not until you get those pants on.
Oh no. Oh, dear.
And then Tigger's like boinging around on his tail because why walk?
Okay, well, let's go ask Owl. He's smart. He can tell me where my pants are.
Here, I can boing up to him. Boing. Hey, Hoot Owl.
Yes?
I got a question for you, boing.
What is your question?
The question is, where did boing Winnie the Pooh's pants go? Boing.
Where did his pants go? Yes, that is the question. For you see, he is not currently wearing pants.
Yes, that's why we're asking you. Do you know where they went?
No, I don't know.
Boing. Damn it. Boing.
But I did see some red pants hanging off of the honey tree in the middle of the woods.
And then Tigger lands with a thud. Hey, Pooh.
Yeah?
Good news.
What?
We can get ice cream.
We can?
Yeah.
Did you find my pants? Did Owl have my pants?
They are in the honey tree in the middle of the forest.
Oh, dear.
Get your spoon.
Hold on. I remember. I was eating honey, and then my pants didn't fit anymore. So I left them.
And scene. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That has to be in this movie. If not, I'm sure it's in one of the spin-offs.
I feel I relate to Pooh on that level. Like, you know, sometimes your pants just don't fit.
Hey, man, COVID pants. That's a real thing.
Need to get Pooh some sweatpants.
It's so hard not to break our cardinal rule of this show.
Keep it classy, Jay.
Keep it classy. Here is the Winnie the Pooh 1977 trailer.
Awesome.
It's a DVD trailer, but...
What would the world be like without imagination?
Think.
How would we get along without friendship?
Hello, I'm Tigger.
Who would we be without Winnie the Pooh?
Can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over again?
Walt Disney Pictures proudly presents the 25th anniversary celebration of the original classic motion picture loved by generations.
T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger.
I'm Pooh.
The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This fully restored silver anniversary edition is based on the original classic stories by A.A. Milne. Experience the magic and the wonder.
Promise you won't forget me?
Oh, I won't, Christopher. I promise.
It's the fully restored 25th silver anniversary edition of Walt Disney's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Coming to video and for the first time ever on Disney DVD, May 7th, 2002.
2002.
Ooh.
That's almost here. We should probably go watch it.
Let's go watch it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's time for the movie!
Which remote do we use again?
I'll get the popcorn.
There could be spoilers.
We'll be back in 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back.
We just watched 1977's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
True story. I did take a couple honey shots before.
Yeah, you were dumping it in your mouth. Like Winnie the Pooh.
I got to get my mind straight.
I thought you were going to get stuck in the doorway and we just have to wait for you to get skinny.
Oh boys.
Wait,
all right.
Wait weeks, months.
Yep. So that reference will make sense once we tell you what this movie's about.
But first impressions, Jay.
Loved it. There wasn't a bad guy. There wasn't a horrible like plot or through story. It was just a bunch of Winnie the Pooh skits disguised as chapters. And I did have a thought. Is this maybe a precursor to Toy Story? Think about it. Christopher Robin owned all these toys. Yep.
That in his mind have all these adventures.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, and they move around and speak and have all these like fights between them.
Yeah.
And these little personalities, but they're really just all his toys.
Exactly. And then he goes off to school and it's a whole thing.
You might be onto something.
Hey, I just call it like I sees it.
Yep. I think you're right.
What did you think?
Oh my gosh. I think Winnie the Pooh is my spirit animal.
There were at least 2 or 3 times where you straight up rolled back laughing.
It was hilarious. And I don't remember it being that funny when I was a kid. So I know there's some jokes in there that they just put in because they liked them, not because they're trying to amuse children.
Exactly. It really seemed fresh. The Disney Plus experience was great because it was in high definition. It sounded good. This is from the 70s. They were able to make it look fantastic and fit this 16:9 screen. Lovely, lovely detail. Sounded fantastic. And
it was a series. There was no through story really. It was just kind of,
sorry, my text.
That was kind of a haunting melody.
Yeah, it was just a ding, 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 dong.
Yeah.
You got a text.
No,
Sorry.
I mean, there was no through line. It was just a series of little stories, but it was so like each little story was just, I mean, it was just so real and funny, and I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
With that, let's jump into this.
Okay.
All right. So the movie started in a 1970s boy's bedroom. You could tell right away without even seeing a human that this was 70s.
Oh yeah.
And it was.
And this is live action.
Live action.
Yeah.
So you saw a real Winnie the Pooh bear, and you saw a real Winnie the Pooh book. Mm-hmm. You saw all the toys, and then you're like, oh, that could be a piglet, and that could be an Eeyore, and then you just see like baseball mitts and, the normal
toy cannons and little tin soldiers and things. Yeah. So you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They go in on this book, which it's Disney.
Of course, we're waiting for it to open up.
Zoom in on a book, and then it turns animated. And we turn the page and we get into the story.
Yes. So the camera zooms in and you see the words, but you also see a picture, and then you see things coming to life in the picture. And it starts off with Winnie the Pooh with his head full of, in his little house under a tree or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And a little bee comes flying in, and he's like, oh, that could only mean one thing.
Honey.
And so
first he's doing his little exercises in front of the mirror.
Oh, and he has a cute song about being obese, or I eat or I work out like this so I get a better appetite, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's cute. Hefty Happy Pooh is the name of the song.
Where the challenge still remains. We are not making a poo joke here.
No poo jokes.
Hefty Happy Pooh.
Show some respect. Okay, so he sees a bee. He's like, more honey, because he's all out. He's got like hundreds of honey pots, and they're all empty.
Yeah, and
because he ate them all.
And this is funny because he starts his adventure of climbing trees, and this is where Andrea's memory actually paid off. He borrowed a balloon from Christopher Robin, painted himself black.
Well, he rolled in mud.
Yeah, mud.
But this was a little iffy. We're like, is this blackface?
You were like that.
Yeah.
My mind did not go there, but yours did.
Okay. Anyway, gets himself all covered in mud and tries to pass off as a rain cloud.
And the balloon lifted him up higher and higher.
And he reached his hand into the honey tree and got honey covered in bees and eats it anyway.
And then just starts like shooting bees out of his mouth like they're bullets. And then he shoots them out of his ears. And
meanwhile, the bees start swarming.
It is, and then the balloon pops, and Pooh's riding the balloon around, and the bees are flying out, chasing, and it's just comical. We had a gas. It was fun.
It was a good time. Yeah.
It was a good opening chapter, I would say.
Yeah, there's a whole war with those bees. Meanwhile, somewhere in the middle of that, we took a break and met all the other characters that Christopher Robin was hanging out with. We met Eeyore, whose tail falls off.
Yes.
And he's
made of sawdust.
He's made of sawdust, so his tail comes off sometimes. And he just says the saddest, most like down things.
Yes.
And it's hilarious.
It is the best.
We meet Kanga and Roo, who are kangaroos.
Yes, and
Clearly.
Roo is the baby, and Kanga's the mom.
We meet Owl, who tells very long-winded stories that no one wants to listen to.
Which I feel his use is underutilized. Like he's a flying animal, and yet his trope is, here's my cousin twice removed, and yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to listen to his stories. There's Rabbit.
Yep.
Rabbit is, the best way I'd describe him is like the Fraser Crane of the group. Everything is neat and organized, and
he has to be polite.
He is very polite, and he has a specific way of doing things, and he always gets just trounced by everyone else.
That's so funny.
There's Piglet, who is just adorable and kind of nervous and very polite and very sweet. And then there's Tigger, who bounces.
We don't meet him till the second
We
chapter.
don't meet him until later.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on. We meet all these people. They nail Eeyore's tail back on. Pooh comes, and the whole honey tree bee fiasco happens. Next thing that happens is Pooh decides, well, I can get honey another way. I'll go visit Rabbit.
Is this chapter 2? I think it might be.
I think so.
Yeah, this is hilarious. So Pooh walks into Rabbit's hole. It's a den, and he goes in.
Well,
and
first Rabbit pretends he's not there because he knows Pooh is going to eat him out of house and home.
And of course, Rabbit, once he gets in, he's like, oh, hi, Pooh. Can I offer you anything? And he's like, oh, do you have any food? And he's like, yeah, some honey. He's like, and Pooh's like, oh, just a little.
And Rabbit gives him like just
literally a dot.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was hoping for a bit bigger little dot. And pretty soon, it cuts to his montage. He goes through like 30 pots of honey.
And Rabbit's just horrified.
And he's polite to the very end. But Pooh gets so fat that he cannot exit the hole that Rabbit's den provides.
He gets stuck half in, half out of this rabbit hole because he ate so much.
And so Rabbit's in the house. It's butt side down. And so Rabbit thinks, I'm going to have to live with this here. And so he starts decorating Pooh's rump. And it's hilarious.
It's so funny. First, he like puts a picture frame around it, and he's like, nah. And then he tries to turn it into a moose and make it look like a hunting trophy.
That's right.
And so he sticks antlers in and tries to draw a face on it.
And then Pooh sneezes, quote unquote, and that causes the entire other end to like explode, and it's just funny. And
yeah, it's just Rabbit's trying to like block this Pooh's behind from being a prominent feature of his lovely home. Yeah, so that's funny. And then on the other side, they're trying to figure out how to dig him out, and the gopher with the lisp or the speech impediment comes in. He whistles every time he says S. Yeah.
Why, hello, Sonny.
Exactly that. So he tries to dig them out, and then he starts to develop like a cost estimate of what the construction's going to be. And as a kid, I wouldn't have gotten any of that. And as an adult, it was hilarious.
It was very funny.
And then he said, no, I never give estimates. Too dangerous or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they finally land on, well, Pooh's just going to have to get skinnier, and then we'll pull him out.
So they literally wait it out.
They just leave him there, and they put up a sign that tells people not to feed him. And finally, they yank him out.
Yes. So chapter 3, and I believe this is Wednesday. And this is all about insane wind, which this is something it took me a couple chapters to realize.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're animals in this forest, they're still toys.
Yes.
So Pooh still has stuffing in him, Eeyore, sawdust, like it's still toys, but living in a real forest.
Yeah. So they're getting blown about by this wind. And it's
high wind.
It's very dangerous.
And everybody's wishing each other a happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. So Pooh and Piglet get blown about, and Piglet ends up actually flying up in the air.
Like a kite.
Pooh's hanging on to the other end.
And they wind up in Owl's house, which is way up in a tree.
Owl lets him in, starts telling a long-winded story. Meanwhile, the tree is rocking and dishes are flying at their heads, and Pooh is eating Owl's honey.
It's a joke that keeps throughout. Pooh and honey.
Yeah, it keeps giving. Pooh just loves that honey.
Yes, he does.
Anyway, tree keeps rocking and it blows over.
That's
Owl's
right.
house is broken.
So they have to find Owl a new house.
Eeyore volunteers.
Yep, it could take a couple days, he says.
Could take a couple days.
Good.
So, but he volunteers. Okay. So then flash over to Pooh getting ready for bed. And it's still kind of windy, and then it turned... Well, it's windy right now. It's still kind of stormy. And he's got his little pop gun by his bed.
Oh, yes.
And suddenly the door blows open and Tigger bounces in.
This is where we meet Tigger. And they play this mirror prank a lot. Like, they acknowledge the person in the mirror is also there. So if Pooh's on patrol, he goes, "How are things in your side? Did you find anything?" Me neither.
Me neither. You go that way, I'll go this way.
But Tigger has the same mirror thing. Like, I felt maybe that could have been cut. One of them. One of the jokes.
Well, Tigger, we don't know if we realized for Tigger, he may have thought it was real.
Okay. Yeah. It might have been his first mirror.
So he brings up Heffalumps and Woozles will eat all of Pooh's honey, and then he bounces out. And so now Pooh is totally freaked out.
Yes.
About the Heffalumps and Woozles, falls asleep, and then has a feverish dream about Heffalumps and Woozles.
And this is the iconic Heffalumps and Woozles / Disney almost mandatory, like insane
fever dream sequence.
Fever dream.
It reminded me a lot of the pink elephants from
Dumbo. Yep.
Yeah.
I got that too.
So anyway, Heffalumps, which are elephants, and Woozles are weasels?
Yes.
Yes. And they're stealing Pooh's honey, and he's very sad. And then he wakes up, and he's in water.
The flood
sequence.
And
so the wind has turned to rain. Everybody's houses are flooding.
Yep.
And we flash over to Piglet, whose house is really flooded, and he puts a note in a bottle and throws it out to sea.
He had so much hope.
Someone will find him.
Funny enough, it worked.
It did work.
But yeah, so Piglet also was able, like, I don't know if anybody explained flooding to him, but he was like paddling out.
He was trying to bail out all of the water,
the flood water,
by putting it in a pan that was floating in the water.
And then was sinking. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Well, he's trying his best. Meanwhile, Eeyore is still looking for a house for Owl.
Yes.
Even though everything's flooded. So good on him for knowing what his job is.
He's tried and true.
Yeah. So they get rescued finally.
Oh yeah, that's
they,
right.
Like,
Christopher
go down a waterfall
Robin?
or
I don't
something.
remember how it all pans out.
They go down a waterfall, but they are on a chair and in a honey pot, so they end up being okay. And Pooh is a hero because he somehow saved Piglet.
Yeah.
So they throw a hero party.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then Eeyore comes up and says, I found your house.
To Owl.
To
So they
Owl.
all follow Eeyore. I guess the flood waters have gone down by the hero party point.
Yeah.
And Eeyore leads them to Piglet's house and says, this is Owl's new house.
And Piglet is too honest and too maybe not honest, but too giving and caring to break poor Eeyore's heart.
And
he
deny
says,
Owl a new house.
He's like, okay.
I guess I'll find somewhere else, I guess.
And so Piglet and Winnie the Pooh end up being roomies, which that's a combo.
Yeah, that needed
to happen.
So then everybody's happy again. And now Piglet's a hero because he gave up his house for Owl, which is very sweet.
Yes.
So again, another hero party.
2 hero party.
They get thrown up in the air in a sheet.
Yes.
So they get to bounce a lot, and it's very fun for them.
And I think the next chapter, is this the one where he made
This
Tigger?
is the Tigger bouncing people problem.
Oh, and Rabbit straight up has it.
Yeah, so
an
Tigger
issue.
likes to just attack people with bouncing, and they fall over, and it wrecks whatever they're doing. And it just makes Tigger so happy, but Rabbit hates it.
This might have been my least favorite chapter.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it because Rabbit said, no, I want to lose this guy.
Yeah, let's go lose him in the forest.
During the mist.
And he'll be so traumatized that he won't bounce people anymore.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty rough. But what happened is Tigers don't get lost.
No.
But
no.
Rabbit got lost.
Yeah, and he kept finding the same. So
Sand pit over and over again.
The way crew was Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, and Rabbit, and then they have Tigger. And somehow Rabbit convinces Winnie and Piglet to, hey, let's get Tigger lost for life.
Well, Pooh was like sleeping during the meeting, so he has no idea what's happening.
Okay.
And Piglet's so sweet, he's just going along with whatever Rabbit says.
So they end up, they try and ditch him through a downed tree log, and they do the old switcheroo. They go in one end and then come out the same end while Tigger keeps it going.
Yeah.
In the mist, and they're like, all right, it worked, let's go home. Well, they just keep circling back to that log, and then there was a sand trap or something, a bunker.
Yeah.
And this one I'm gonna remember the most of the movie, but I almost didn't like it just because
it felt a little mean-spirited.
It was mean-spirited.
Rabbit's got a little mean streak to him.
But he went a little dark.
He went a little dark trying to lose his friend in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they all got back together. Tigger helped Rabbit, and that made Rabbit okay. And
For a while.
For a while, until the next chapter.
Yeah. Snow day.
Snow day.
So Tigger is taking Roo out and showing him a good time.
How to jump.
Here's how to jump. And so they're ice skating or trying to ice skate, and they mess up Rabbit's lovely ice skating. And then they bounce up a tree.
Yes.
And Roo's having a great time, but Tigger
gets
looks
scared
down, gets
heights.
scared, and he's just clutching the top limb of the tree and can't get down.
Yeah.
And he says, if I ever get down from this tree, I will never bounce people again.
And Rabbit hears that. That's music to his ears. And he's like, you heard that. I heard that. You promise? We promise? And he made a funny stink about it. Also kind of mean. But then got him down.
Yeah.
Well, Christopher Robin got him down.
Yeah.
And he got down, Tigger got down, kissed the floor, and walked because he's like, I made a promise.
It's like, I can't bounce.
But then everybody else is like, hey, I like the old Tigger better.
We like it when he bounces. It's more fun.
Then Rabbit was the only one that didn't.
So they guilted Rabbit, and then Rabbit's like, yeah, I guess it's okay.
And of course, Tigger gets so happy he tackles Rabbit.
Yeah. So very last chapter, Christopher Robin and Pooh are walking through the woods and going to fishing hole or something. Yeah. And Christopher Robin says, well, you know how I usually do nothing? Well, now I've got to do something. I've got to go to school. And like, school, what's that?
And
something
then,
about finding Brazil and ABCs or something.
Yeah, and there's a cute montage of the animals like learning things and trying to do,
trying to figure out what school's all about. Yeah.
And then it ended, right?
Yeah. It's just Christopher Robin is growing up, and they kind of, Pooh and Christopher Robin kind of end on a promise that they'll never forget each other.
That's right. And they cut back to the live action scene in the boys' bedroom. And you see the live action Winnie the Pooh, the actual stuffed animal, give a little wink right before the end. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how it ended.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it was a good movie.
I enjoyed it. I truly did.
Yeah. I there wasn't any time I was bored. There wasn't any time that I was ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
There were some older Disney ones. I'm like, this is kind of a drag. But this one, it had great pacing, great characters. They didn't try and force anything here. I don't think. I mean,
they weren't trying to make you laugh, but the laughs happened.
Yeah.
And each story, it wasn't like they were trying to teach you a lesson. It was just, here's the next thing that happens in their lives.
Well, what's interesting is they could have easily made this about Christopher Robin, him in every scene playing with his toys.
Right.
They didn't.
No.
Pooh was the feature, and every once in a while they went and got Christopher Robin.
When they needed help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat. I liked it. Good angle.
It was pretty good.
Fresh.
Well, when you play with your toys as a kid, you aren't the main character. The
You're
toys
right.
are the main character.
You're right.
So you only step in when they really need your help.
And then Jay's hand comes down to Batman.
Here,
I
Batman,
got
I got you.
Here is your milkshake of strength.
Thank you, Jay.
Oh, funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I would say this movie, certified fresh. It holds up.
Oh, all right.
Really enjoyed it.
Well, listen, I've got some information about the voices in this movie.
Would that be?
Here are true facts about
Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, so we all know Sterling Holloway. Voice of the Cheshire Cat, voice of... Gosh, how many different times have we mentioned him in this podcast?
Yeah, he is a Disney favorite.
Voice of Winnie the Pooh, and a great voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he does a good job. And he's the only one that can go, oh, it's me, Pooh, or whatever his line is, and make it sound cute and enduring, whereas
Instead
everybody
of,
else...
It's me, Pooh.
Close to a joke, dirty joke, but...
No,
almost
I'm just
broke.
saying,
Yeah.
anyone who says that,
You're right.
It's not cute.
It is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ralph Waldo Wright was the voice of Eeyore in the movie. Fun fact, though.
Yeah.
He was not a voice actor.
Oh?
He was a Disney animator and storyboard
Really?
writer. So he was behind the scenes writing the stories. He's actually known for his use of gags, and he'd like act out the gag in front of the storyboard.
Oh my gosh.
But he's been working on Disney films all the way back to Saludos Amigos. He was the writer and on the storyboard team for How to Ride a Horse with Goofy.
Awesome.
He worked on Bambi. All the way back. And then finally in 1977, they're like, you know who we should use for the voice of Eeyore? This guy who's been working with us the whole time.
Yeah, he was probably pitching it, and they're like, we like his voice so much.
Or maybe they tried to find an actor, and they didn't like anybody's voice better than his. Anyway, I thought that was a fun little tidbit.
That is a nice little zinger.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Barbara Luddy.
Yes.
The voice of Kanga.
Andrea and I kept saying, I know this voice.
I know this voice.
I know this voice.
Who is this voice?
Who is it?
It's the voice of Lady from Lady and the Tramp. It's the voice of Merryweather from Sleeping Beauty.
There it is.
She was also the voice of the girl Church Mouse from Robin Hood.
All right.
So we've seen her over and over and over again.
That's why the bell was ringing.
That's why the bell was ringing. It was a familiar voice. Let's see if I've got one more for you.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So hold on, let me find it. I clicked show more and then it's way too much. I'll edit this. Here we go. Wally Cox was the original voice for Piglet, but he was too busy working on Underdog. So John Fielder, got the role instead.
All right.
Yeah.
I've seen the cartoon Underdog multiple times. Great cartoon.
But Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh, the voice of Piglet. That's a big deal. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Originally, for each individual short, Christopher Robin was voiced by a different actor in each one.
Yes.
For this particular film, however, John Walmsley re-recorded the Christopher Robin's dialogue in The Honey Tree, originally voiced by Bruce Rothermeier, notably for consistency purposes.
Well, there's actually a reason for that. The film is actually previously released as a series of shorts.
Oh.
So Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree was from 1966, so 11 years prior. Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day was released in 1968. Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 was released in 1974.
And that's probably why we both have such cloudy memories. Is this a movie or is
this a short or a TV show?
Have we seen this when we were young? I'm sure we have.
Maybe we saw shorts or maybe we saw the whole thing. Bells were ringing for me the whole time we were watching this. I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, this was not new material. This was previously released that they just stuck together.
Oh. Here's this. This is kind of cool. Walt Disney Animation Studios, first film to not include a main antagonist since Dumbo. Which I was just saying, there's no baddie in this.
There's no bad guy in this.
Yep.
The film holds a 92% fresh rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Heck yeah.
So critics really enjoyed this. Film critic Leonard Maltin, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Do I?
He called the original Pooh featurettes gems. So obviously he liked it when they were all stuck together.
Yeah.
He also noted that the artwork resembles the book illustrations in the original book, which is kind of a nice touch that
an homage.
They stuck to
the art direction,
the original stories.
Well, what's funny is in Disney, most times you see an elephant, you're like, that's a Disney elephant. That's a Disney, This, not so much. You could tell there's some other influences that were uniquely Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So
some of the animals definitely were their own thing. They weren't just copies of what had happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think with that, I've got to ask you.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Moral number 1. And the moral of today's story is...
We all have our vices, but we're all in this together.
Not quite sure what the moral is out of what you just said. I would say we all have our vices, but don't let the vices control you.
Pooh kind of did, though, and it worked out for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Al, really, all of the characters are more defined by their unlikable traits. But for some reason, it makes them really likable.
I don't know. I would disagree. They all help each other no matter what. Except Rabbit, who's a jerk and wanted to banish Tigger.
Well, but Rabbit still fed Pooh when he showed up.
Yeah.
But like Rabbit's kind of a grumpy old jerk, and Pooh's kind of a glutton, and Eeyore's just down all of the time.
Yeah.
And Owl tells these long-winded, self-important stories, and Piglet can't stand up for himself even when his house is being given away.
But they all like each other.
And they're delightful.
So maybe that's the moral, Be helpful no matter what.
Look out for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share the honey.
Share the honey.
Share the honey.
I like it.
Oh, funny. Well, friends, it is the end of the show. It has been great.
It was a good one. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you for listening. Our next show will be The Rescuers.
Yes.
I don't know that I've seen it. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Thanks for listening. Rate us, thumbs up us, share us, leave a comment. Be good to yourself. And until next time, have a good one.